Hello, I'm finally posting. Sorry for the weird camera angle. I'm finally posting my July plan with me, and this is kind of the first part where I will just introduce what I'm doing. And it's taken me a very long time to film this, but I have everything set up right now because I just filmed an unboxing. So I'm finally going to do it. I'm sorry that it is so late, but what can I say? I got busy and things got really weird when I got back from California. I had like a whole week of being really off schedule and jet lagged and just weird, and so yeah, and then some other stuff's come up. So I'm getting back into the swing of things, and this is going to be my July plan with me. And so I'm also not going to have time to do a voiceover for it, so I'll put music and you'll watch me draw all the spreads, and then at the end I'll come back and we'll do a flip through and I'll show you guys what I did. And then since it's already well past the middle of July, you'll also see what I did and did not do, so it'll be kind of like a flip through, even though July is not quite over yet. So I'll see you then. Hello again, we are back and it's time to see what we did in July. So I have this cover page that just says, because a little bit of summer is what the whole year is all about. And when I did this spread, I was feeling very summery. So I did a sun with July, and the theme colors are like yellow and orange, and the whole theme for all my spreads is summer and sunshine, with an emphasis on like sunshine. And I really like these spreads. You'll see that I didn't use them very much, but I like them. I made this bills and expenses log, but then I decided to start doing, to keep all this information in an entirely separate book. And so I'm actually going to do a video on that because I decided to switch things up because I thought I would be paid every 2 weeks like I have for my past 2 summer jobs. But this summer, instead, I got funded by a different grant, and so instead, I got paid a whole stipend for the whole summer all at once. And so I had to figure out how to budget that and use it like carefully because it needed to last me all summer and even a few weeks into the school year until I knew that my regular semester job would start paying me. So I needed to do that really carefully, and I finally developed a system that I put in a different notebook. And then here we have the mood tracker that I just stopped using. I started the mood tracker when I started bullet journaling in February, and I put it in originally to track my mood because I was kind of worried about some things. I was having a hard time and a lot of low moods, and I really wanted to track those to see, just to be careful. And if I was seeing a lot of like worrisome patterns, then I was going to go find help. But things picked up, and I got into bullet journaling, and that actually helped a lot. So my moods have been better, and it's the summer, so I have a lot less happening. I'm under a lot less stress right now, and so this mood tracker was really almost all the same color, and it just wasn't useful because every day was fine for the most part, and so I just stopped using it. I also got busy. This is when I was in California. Then I have a 1 line a day, but I stopped doing this. I kind of turned it into a gratitude log, but it's too big because it was supposed to be a 1 line a day, and I just don't like the format, which I got from a Planning with Kay video. She uses a really similar setup. These boxes are for tracking mood, and so I was going to use both a separate mood tracker and then also this 1 line a day plus mood tracker and see kind of what I like better. And then by the middle of July, I was like, wait a second, I don't actually like either of those systems. I'm changing stuff up. And so when we get to my August setup video, I'll explain that in greater detail. Then we have a habit tracker, and I'm sorry, I don't want to share some of the habits. Actually, let me just get a sticky note. I should have set this up before, but I wasn't sure that I was going to do this video right now. Then I decided I put it off way too long. I'm gonna do it. So, habit tracker. I really like this setup for a habit tracker. I really like using the spread over 2 pages. This is another thing I got from a Planning with Kay video, and these stickers are from her citrus kit. And so yeah, this is really cute. This is my favorite spread. I just stopped using it. I'm going to reevaluate what habits I think are actually useful for me to track. And this is just a quote that I lettered that says, "Rise above the storm and you will find the sunshine." A sleep log that I stopped doing, and this was when I was getting really, shortly here, for these few days I was in California, and so I was waking up and running out of the hotel and then coming back to the hotel really late and just wasn't paying attention to when I was waking up and going to sleep. I was just kind of always on the go, so I wasn't able to use this really or keep up with it while in California. And then I got back and my sleep schedule was just completely wrecked for a while, and then by then I just kind of stopped using it, and now I'm wondering whether it's useful. And so I'm not using it for the last part of July, and then when I set up August, I'll see if I miss it and if I want to keep it. We have a food log that is pretty standard. I stopped using it because I have started tracking my food elsewhere. Again, I'll get into that when I talk about my August setup. Then we have my lettering quotes, which lettering challenges, which I stopped again. I can't even remember which challenge this is, to be honest. I didn't write it down. And this is because, I don't know, I feel like I don't need the challenges as much. I'm really happy right now with where my lettering is. It's not perfect, but I think that it is mine and I like it. And so, like something like this, like I really like the way I lettered the word regrets here. And so when I am careful enough and I have enough space, I know I'm capable of some pretty good lettering, and so I didn't feel the need to practice every single day. And I also don't think I need help with prompts. Like if I want to letter something, I can go find a prompt and I can letter it. And this just took a lot of time, because if I wasn't able to do it right when as soon as I wake up, like if I had to go out and go to work as soon as I woke up, then I would have to do this at work, or I wouldn't do it at all. And if I did it at work, I'd have to remember to bring a calligraphy kind of pen with me, or I just wouldn't do it. But I like this, for example. So some of my best lettering is in here. And I'm definitely not going to just stop practicing, but for right now, I've just kind of dropped the daily prompts and challenges. And so that's a lot of space, and maybe sometime I'll go in and fill that in, just so I don't have all this wasted space. But for now, it's what I did. And then I started doing weeklies like this again. For a while in June, I was trying to do a week on 2 pages, and that did not work. There was not enough space for me. So I started to do dailies like this, and I really like this type of system. I think a third of a page was a really good amount of space. But because a to-do section and 7 days is not 9, I put a little quote at the bottom of every section. And so I did that for a couple of weeks. Here I was working on a custom bullet journal order that I have since shipped, and the customer seems really happy with it, and so that's nice. But it was also exhausting, so I'm not doing that for a while. And then this is an example of another sticker that I'll have. Well, I'm introducing something from another video, but in my Pip Sticks unboxing, I talked about how I'm starting my own sticker shop, and I'm going to launch some stickers in the next few weeks, hopefully. This is an example of one of them. It's kind of a little glitter, digital glitter Instagram icon. I really like these stickers. And so yeah, and then I kind of stopped. I started doing this weekly overview. I really found that I really wanted a weekly overview again. I did them when I first started bullet journaling, and then I stopped doing them. And that was because they seemed repetitive because of my schedule. I have a regular class schedule, and like I said in the other video, I'm sorry, I'm doing these so close together that I'm forgetting what I've said in this video and what I said in the other video. But I don't have a really complicated schedule. I'm not in a lot of clubs. I don't do a lot of like things that are outside of my schedule. I go home, I go to work, I go to school. That's what I do. So these felt really repetitive, but I do have the occasional meeting, and last semester for some reason I had a hard time keeping my schedule straight. Last semester was the first time I commuted from school and home. Because my boyfriend and I moved off campus, and so it was just really weird. It threw off my whole schedule, because if I didn't, if I had forgotten a class before last semester, I could really easily just walk over, because no class was more than a 10-minute walk away. Whereas last semester, I couldn't do that. I have to take a bus that comes only once an hour onto campus, and so that meant that I really needed to know my schedule in a way that I hadn't before. Like I had to plan ahead, and for some reason I had a hard time with that. I missed like the last lecture of a class because I forgot what time it started. So I decided that I really wanted to do an overview like this again. I tried to use an Erin Condren. That has not worked. I'll talk about that in my August setup video. But this was, I set this up for the rest of July, but I haven't really used it. And then this is where I really started not using this anymore. This week that I'm filming this is the first whole week I'm doing another planning system, and so far I really like it. I'll talk about the pros and cons of this versus that during my August setup, but I stopped using this, and I don't foresee myself coming back to this for a while, and I'll explain why in another video. Here I have some swatches that I was trying to make color palettes for that custom bullet journal. I was looking for a dentist. I haven't been to a dentist in a long time, too long, but I've since found a dentist, and I'll be going at the beginning of August, so that's good. Doing some notes for the sticker launch, how many copies of each sticker that I have that I want to start out with, just so I have some stock so that I don't have to print each sticker right as I get them. This is for my August setup, so that's just a sneak peek. We have a YouTube tracker here. I have to move this somehow into my new planning system. And then here I have sticker trials. So these are some stickers that I tried making. As you can see, I have some miscuts here, and then this is when I actually got them to work. And then I also have a YouTube play icon. And yeah, so that's it. I have a lot of space in here that I'm not going to use right now. But I think that's the cool thing about bullet journaling. You can just stop or miss some days, and because it's all just in a notebook, should I ever want to come back to this, I have all of the space that I can just come start again right here. But for now, that is the end of my bullet journaling in this style for right now. I'm trying something different, and yeah, so that was my July setup and my final bullet journal setup for the foreseeable future. We'll see what happens in a few months. I'm going to try something different, and yeah, so thank you for another video, and I will see you next time. Please like and subscribe for more updates, and we'll see what comes next. So bye.